Welcome to Tales from the Trenches Tuesdays. Today I am absolutely honored to have Betty Ann Howard with me. Betty Ann is a philanthropic financial planner. She's an award-winning speaker, an author, a financial literacy advocate, and a charitable giving expert. It seems like a huge portfolio. And for over 20 years, Betty Ann has been guiding women, couples, and families to realize their financial dreams and has shared her vision with audiences all around the world. She has a specialization in strategic philanthropic planning and charitable giving. She's been able to direct millions of dollars to the charitable sector while dramatically reducing taxes for those individuals she has assisted. So welcome, Betty Ann. Definitely. And I found that so many people are hesitant to go to a lawyer and change their will. They said, the next time that there's a life event, the next time I go and change my will, I'll just do the charitable component then, because they're under some sort of misconception it's going to be thousands of dollars to either add a codicil or to add another charity to the list. And my response has always been, if it's thousands of dollars, you have the wrong lawyer. Go to a different lawyer, and I can suggest a whole bunch for you. Like, it should be something very, very simple. As a matter of fact, in a former life, when I was with the Ottawa Jewish Community Foundation, we had a donor come up with some funds, and the exclusive use of those funds was kind of show us the bill and then go change your will. So they would actually pay up to $500 for someone to go and change their will. And to be honest, it should be much less than $500 if all you're doing is adding a charity or adding a very simple codicil. Mm-hmm. What's your do you find that people are hesitant to update their will, or?
Well, there's several answers or several points I want to make based on your
Sure.
question. The first one is that, interestingly, with COVID, the number of Canadians who were planning on getting their wills done and getting them updated was incredible. So that was as much as many charities were cutting back on their resources. They really shouldn't have, because there was a great opportunity there. The second thing is that I always think that keeping it simple is the best way in many ways. So there are simple and easy things people can do where you don't have to go see a lawyer. Like name a charity, the contingent or 50-50 contingent beneficiary in terms of your art. It's a simple thing to do, and you can change it again if you want. But the number of RSPs, like if one person dies and then the survivor dies, the spouse dies, then this money, as you said, it's half of it's going to go to CRA. Wouldn't you rather it go to a charity, your favorite charity? So that's something. There are some simple things that people can do to and yes, to be able to keep it, make it a bit easier. And people do hesitate around paying money to see a lawyer. And the concern that I have about lawyers is that some people go, because I hear these stories, they go to a lawyer and they say, I want to change my will because I want to incorporate, different charities. And they say, some of them, the ones who don't have the training in philanthropy, say, oh, just let your kids figure that out.
Right.
And I say, no.
Yeah. Yeah, it's funny, as a fundraiser, I've seen many folks that give huge annual support or campaign support, whatever you want to call it, when they're alive, and you talk to them about leaving a bequest, and it's almost verboten. They're well aware of it. They're well aware of the tax implications, but they kind of like, every generation has to row its own boat. So they said, well, I'm going to leave it to my kids. If they want to donate it, that's their issue. Which kind of leads me into kind of my next question about this intergenerational transfer of wealth, right? It's supposed to be happening as we speak. The boomers are going to be inheriting a huge pile of money from the traditionalist generation before them. But I haven't really seen that huge influx of donations coming in on the bequest side. Is it too early to tell, or am I missing something?
No, I don't think you are missing something. And certainly with our clients who have baby boomer parents have reference, like, of course, they want their parents to use as much of the money that they have saved and invested
Right.
as is needed. So, yeah, lots of talk about this wealth transfer, especially I'm sure you've heard too that women are going to be inheriting twice, right? At the because women outlive men at the death of their spouses, and then also in terms of family money. So that's something that I'm hearing more about. And I don't know if you've seen that we have what we call this invisible heroines project going on, because we're really wanting to showcase Canadian women philanthropists historically, both, in the long ago past and in the recent past. And because we think it's what we've identified in talking to female philanthropists is there are additional issues and concerns about identifying themselves, issues of trust and vulnerability and that sort of thing. So we're wanting to highlight women philanthropists as role models and to motivate and inspire other women to think in this way. And I used to teach the psychology of women, and I think
I could probably use that book.
that would be another conversation for us to have.
Yes.
Here's the other thing that, because people always make a joke about this, that I used to be a sex therapist as well when I was in my previous career. So we all that's a separate conversation. Couples counseling, all of that. So. Yeah. So the wealth transfer, we have a specific process that we take people through who do come into inheritances. So we are having more conversations with our clients who are coming into inheritances because we want to infuse the meaning behind the money into whatever decisions they make. So we listen for and ask, like, was your parent, what did they do when it came to charitable giving and that sort of thing? And might you want to invest some of the money, take the profit, like the money that you make on that, to buy a life insurance policy and name, like, here's a way to magnify, like, the possibilities are endless. And that's why I love what I do, because it's so exciting to share that with people. And
Yeah, you kind of spoke a little bit about the discussions around the dinner table. And I'm a strong advocate of those discussions that you have around the dinner table about philanthropy, not necessarily just writing a check, but even volunteering and being part of a community really shape you as an adult, and then in turn, shape your kids. So what were the discussions? I know that you had a different type of a childhood.
I did. And so the discussions were, well, they certainly weren't, well, in all fairness. So as you know, I grew up poor by Canadian standards. My father couldn't read or write. We lived a very frugal life. And at the same time, I remember my mother, there were homeless men, we called them hobos, who would come to our door, and my mother would always give them food. And of course, there was the opposite mindset in terms of my father, that everybody has to pull themselves up by the bootstraps and they have to help themselves, and if you shouldn't be, charity has to begin at home and that sort of thing. So I think taking it even to a bigger picture, money mindset is part of all of this. And when I was thinking about us having this conversation, I'm very fortunate that I saved well, I invested well, I've got a great business, and I have the financial security to be able to do all kinds of things. And
Betty Ann, it's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you. I love talking with you because I think we kind of sing from the same hymnal.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, and there's so much more we could talk about. So
There is.
Hi, folks. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button right here.